Hello, my name is Matthew O'Brien. I'm a peanut butter and jelly consultant and trainer with the Better Sandwiches Bureau, and I'm here today to help you figure out how to make a delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich for a child. Before we get started, I just want to take a moment to give a brief overview of what this training will cover. This training will cover a list of optional and required items, a step-by-step video and visual instruction for creating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, or PB&J, provide advanced tips on how to make a PB&J best for children. The goal of this training is for you to not only create a PB&J, but to learn the best practices for making a delicious, long-lasting sandwich that every child will enjoy. As you're flipping through the slides, don't forget to take a look at the bottom where we provided a couple different factoids regarding peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. What you will need for this training. Required is 2 slices of bread of your choice, 1 room temperature container of peanut butter or almond butter, 1 jar of jelly of your choice, 3 butter knives, 1 medium or small spoon, 1 clean surface or cutting board, and 1 32-inch by 12-inch sheet of saran wrap. Optional items include 1 tape measure, 1 sheet of paper towel, and 1 scissor. A few last things. Don't forget to soap, wash, and dry your hands, and clean any used surface. Set up your workstation similar to the one shown below, and do not forget, you can pause the video anytime when needed. Please take a moment to review the quick step-by-step overview. This is a general overview of everything that we'll be covering in this training. Don't worry, we will take plenty of time to cover each and every step.
How to spread butter on the bread slices. To keep things simple, I'm going to actually just be referring to peanut butter as butter, because I'm actually going to be using almond butter. Please follow these steps carefully to avoid making a messy sandwich. First, take 2 slices of bread out of the bread bag and set them in the middle of your surface or cutting board after you've cleaned it. Set the 2 slices of bread roughly 1 inch apart. To avoid sandwiches from getting soggy during the day, our secret trick is going to be putting butter on both sides of the bread. That way, we avoid the jelly from leaking throughout the day and causing a soggy sandwich. To get started, please open the jar or container of peanut butter or almond butter, which we're going to call just butter, and place it near the left side of the left piece of bread. Open up the container and set the lid to the side. Take your first knife and grab just a little bit of peanut butter. You can always go back for more, so just start with a little bit. You're going to want to use the sharp end of the knife pointing down to scoop up the peanut butter and then place it on the bread on the left side. Gently fan and spread the peanut butter so that all edges and corners of the bread are covered. You can gently use your hand to hold the bread in place. Once you've completed the left slice of bread, let's move on to the right side. Now, a great way to know if you have too much peanut butter is if the peanut butter is quite a bit thicker than the thickness of your butter knife. You want it to match just about the same. On our right slice of bread, we're going to go just a little bit thinner because we're going to be putting jelly on top of that in the next step. Again, you can gently hold the outside edges of the bread just to hold it in place. As you can see, the right slice of bread does have a thinner layer of peanut butter, or in this case almond butter, than the left side. I'm just going to take the butter knife and scrape off the residual butter just so I can make sure I save as much as possible, and I can set that knife to the side. You can then place the cap back on your butter container and put it in an area that's going to be out of our way. Step 2. How to spread jelly on the right bread slice. Now that we're ready to start applying jelly, take your jelly jar and grip it with your hand firmly at the bottom and twist the cap off and set the cap to the side. You can then set the jar right in front of your right slice of bread. Grab your spoon and start with just a little bit of jelly and scoop it up. And gently set it on the bread, on the right slice of bread. You begin slowly working it in and spreading it out. And you're going to want to avoid putting any jelly close to the border. I usually like to keep it about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the bread. That way when the sandwich compacts, it's not going to be leaking out the sides. When you're done with the spoon, you can put it off to the side or you can leave it in the jelly jar if you think you might need more. I'm going to switch to my second clean knife and start spreading it. Try to get any big clumps in the middle. And when finished, set your next dirty knife over to the side as well. Now again, we put butter on both sides to avoid the jelly from hitting the bread. This is going to be one of those key components of making a great sandwich for any child that's going to be eating it at a later point. 3. Making a sandwich and cutting it in half. Since we're finished with the jelly, let's set the spoon aside. Next to our other dirty utensils, place the cap back on, and move it next to the peanut butter out of the way. Don't forget to tighten the jar. You don't want to spill any jelly. Okay, now we're going to have a delicious peanut butter and jelly sandwich or almond butter and jelly sandwich for your child ready in no time. One bit of caution. Gently grab the outside of crust as you're placing the sandwich together. So one way that we like to do it is to start with the last clean butter knife and gently put it underneath the left slice of bread and grab the left side of the bread on the outside edges with your middle finger and your thumb. Gently lift, place the right side of the left piece of bread onto the left side of the right slice of bread, and gently lower it. You can press down a little bit just to hold it in place. And now we're ready to start cutting the bread. I always like to center the bread a little bit just to make things easier. And start by cutting down the middle from the round edge of the bread to the flat edge, just about 1/4 of an inch from the border, like this. Holding the knife at 45-degree angle, continue down. And you can gently cut through the bread and stop another 1/4 of an inch before you get to the crust at the bottom. Now, holding the knife firmly, keep it flat and press down through the crust gently so you can have a clean cut down the middle. And repeat that at the top side. Now that you have a clean cut, you can set your last dirty utensil off to the side, and we're ready to start wrapping. It's time to start wrapping the sandwich. Begin by moving the sandwich slightly over to the right of your surface. Take your first piece of plastic wrap or saran wrap and gently lift up your sandwich by grabbing underneath and pressing towards the middle. Turn it 45 degrees counterclockwise and place in the middle of the saran wrap. I'm just going to slide it over here. Now I'm going to start with moving the top of the saran wrap over the sandwich and gently pulling it together and resting it just like that. Next, I'm going to take the bottom half of the saran wrap and put it over the top that I just pulled over, and I'm going to tuck the sides over the top of the sandwich together. Now that doesn't give us enough of a tight seal, because we're actually going to be putting this in the refrigerator next, just to make sure that it stays nice and fresh for tomorrow. So I'm going to flip the sandwich, and as you can see, there's no peanut butter or jelly spilling out the sides. So this is a perfect peanut butter and jelly or almond butter sandwich. The next thing is going to be grabbing your second piece of saran wrap and turning it horizontally this time, and then lifting up the sandwich and placing it in the middle and repeating the same steps as before. You can gently press on the saran wrap just to make sure it's nice and tight and held together, and then you're finished. Congratulations, you've made your peanut butter and jelly or almond butter sandwich. The final step is going to be taking it over to your freezer and finding a nice safe spot for it. I've cleared out this spot next to my other peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, or in this case almond butter and jelly sandwiches, so I'm going to set it right there. And now I have enough for the whole week. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Before you go, in order to receive your training certificate, you must first take a photo of your completed PB&J sandwich and forward to matthewjobrien32@gmail.com, and please remember to put your employee number in the subject line and photo title. Also, please complete our short 5-minute assessment and survey. The link is listed right below. Finally, a copy of this training and additional training resources can be downloaded from the following shared drive. Click on the link and you will be able to access all documents and videos in this training, including additional documents and training as well. With any other questions or concerns, please send an email to matthewjobrien32@gmail.com. Thank you very much for joining us. Have a great day, and enjoy your PB&J.